y'all's understanding is, because there's timelines here that he don't even know. And that's the problem, it's gotta be somewhat open-ended, but the spirit of the agreement is that any surplus funds coming in from the sale of their merchandise will be refunded up to $45,000. And you leave your initial contribution of $5 on the table.
That's correct.
I'll talk to him.
So we'll hold off on that immediately.
Yeah.
I think it's the agreement. All right, next item, number 11. I had a phone call from a lady named Amy Whitfield, and she was to find out if we would consider leasing the old Fairfield voting house for her to open a dog grooming and boarding business. And I explained to her that if we were to do such a lease, we would have to advertise.
You gotta advertise it.
And I didn't know if you wanted to allow such a use for that little building.
I might go there just yet. You never know when that fire department will kick us out.
That's,
Would be, yeah,
but I told her I'd ask.
Yeah, they do number 10, like I said, that's on there.
Oh, did I skip 10?
Yes. The bicentennial kickoff.
Well, he mentioned it.
That's right.
They want to approve the bicentennial kickoff event at the courthouse on Saturday, January 27th, as requested by Lynn McCoy.
Motion by Brian,
she on the second.
second by Randy. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
She called and asked for that to be approved, and he mentioned it, that they were gonna do it, so. All right, so what about Amy Whitfield, though, how do you wanna table that, or reviews?
I think we need to go there. What y'all think? Y'all two guys back here. You never know, we may have to go back to voting now.
Okay. You wanna make a motion to that effect?
Yeah, make a motion to deny.
Okay. Motion to deny. You have a second?
Second.
Second, Bishop. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Number 12 is to consider the request of the city of Mendenhall to remove the deaf child sign and increase the speed limit to 35 miles per hour on Athens Road.
Please.
That's what it used to be.
Did they move? Not there anymore?
Nobody knows.
She tried the school bus with me.
They don't think anybody, deaf child in there. for-
That's what I'm saying, it's been years.
We're saving the school bus for her.
See, we didn't know. Thank you, that helps us know, because nobody knew when that was put in. It's been for 30, 40 years.
It's been a long time.
Most,
Motion by Danny. I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
thanks, that helps. I mean, she old.
I've gotten a ticket there too.
Oh, man. Number 13 is to consider taking proposals for an election agent contract for Justice Court. A company named Southern Financial Systems has requested to be considered. Currently, we're using Mississippi Court Solutions. And what has happened for the past 2 or 3 terms is Mississippi Court Solutions waited to the last minute to submit their renewal, and we hadn't had time to take proposals because you'd end up not having anything in place for a while. This request is sort of timely because we're a couple months ahead of time. The contract ends December 31st, so if you want to take proposals on it, now's the time.
They're basically just a statute, isn't it? I mean, why do you want, it's a percentage,
It's a service contract.
yeah, but they're saying the percentages allowed.
Motion by Randy to take proposals.
Second.
Second by Danny. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'll work with Joyce Ann to develop a notice to put out. But the difference is in how they go about collecting, their
methodology.
the percentages that we pay on those things, but some companies will go to further lengths to contact people than others. So, of course, it's a lot like insurance sales. Every one of them says they got a better deal than others. Thank you. Number 14 is to approve the payment for Mara Realty and the market rent summary for the DHS and CPS office space in the multi-purpose building, $1,000.
Motion by Randy. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Danny. discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's the next step will be to use that to submit that, information for an agreement with DPS and CPS to get us some rental reimbursement on that bill. So that was one of the things we had to have to get to that agreement.
Spend money getting.
Yes, sir.
Motion.
And we've approved it. Next item is to consider appointing a contact person for the Mississippi Beam, for broadband issues. They have requested, every county's broadband plan, if we have one, and we do not have one. So, but they did request a contact person, someone to kind of oversee whatever it is they want to do. I'm gonna recommend Charlie Welch for that position because it's technological in nature. And, they had asked for county administrators, road managers, I forget who else, that's somebody else, and I think Charlie would be best suited for that particular function.
Okay. Do you have a motion for that?
Yes, sir.
Motion by Brian to appoint Charlie as the broadband. Second by Mitchell. Any discussion?
Now, what's that what all that in detail?
Well, it wasn't very detailed at all.
I looked at it this morning, it's a measure to get broadband to the served and underserved, and I know there's a $1.2 billion, money that's gonna be coming in that will, basically, there's a method on the website that you put in your address and it helps them crowdsource, so it's, has public provided information that kind of identifies where there's good service or no service at all, and it's kind of just a measure to get served and underserved areas broadband.
Yeah, there's a big need for it. That's what I said, put all that in detail. We need to really hit the ground running on that, because a lot of areas, it's in the county that don't have broadband.
They had asked, they just want, they're starting to build their network up with local contacts to try to help get this grant money for broadband. They asked for contacts like, wants to contact public works director, city clerk, county administrator, city or county engineer. So I felt like Charlie would be best suited for it.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
I would like authority to prepare resolutions for retiring elected officials for this, end of the term.
Motion by Danny. Second by Randy. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, number 17, I need some guidance on maybe a policy change or something for solid waste collection, addressing and issuance of car tags. We had a lady come in last week. She had, 2 electrical meters at one address, and it was a business address, and we didn't know about the other one, and maybe thought that's where she was living, I'm not sure what, but she presented evidence where those electric accounts were closed out, so we created the account. Well, then she wanted to get her car tag, and she presented her address as, in this case, the address that we had on file was 219 Bass Road, and she presented 219A Bass Road. Well, there's no 219A in our system. There's no 219A in the E911 office, but she's been, I guess, I don't know how long she's been getting the car tag there, but we called and found out from the utility company, she's been there since 2011. And, normally when we have somebody that's just slipped by and they hadn't had an account set up, we put a year on and go forward. But she was obviously trying to circumvent. She made up her own address. It's not in the system anywhere. She's been there for 12 years, not paying the garbage bill there, although she had paid it some at the business address, which is right there next to her house. So even though we didn't have a contract or an agreement, we could kind of consider that. But
Was that at that home for people,
I don't know, there's 5 or 6 trailers out there apparently.
or some kind of home, casket home that's always been there?
They close out one down, Randy, on Bass Road.
Nikkei?
That's the.
Nikkei, that's what I was
Down there on the
thinking,
left,
Nikkei.
at the end, the back
Yeah,
road.
that.
Nikkei's,
Nikkei.
where Nikkei's used to be?
Yeah, that's where she used to be. I don't know if that's the same one, but it sounds like it will be. Probably business I know has
And
ever
these
been down
people
there.
put all this thought into trying not to buy, pay
Well, they were
cars.
paying a business account up until a few years ago. And she presented evidence where she had the electricity terminated, but she's still living there. It made up her own address. So, and I know Jamie had to deal with it in the car tag, and she was over there throwing a fit and causing a bunch of outcry, so, I'm not fussing about whether she got a car tag improperly or not. What I just need to know what to do in this kind of situation. She got out of hand and was upset with Tracy. Tracy started asking, as more things came through, Tracy started asking questions as she's supposed to do to try to find out what the situation
Well,
is.
if there's not a 911 address, there should be no tax though.
I agree.
Even though that it doesn't come up from now on, I mean, it should be to the point that.
Sometimes we find,
box out there to get to that address.
You can send 911 man or woman out there and let them check it out.
Well, so you can have a 911 address and not qualify for a tag, right, Jacob? There are certain things you have to be able to get a tag, but you gotta live there. This address not been found.
Well, that's what she was saying, the 219A, which she brought me a light bill that said 219A.
that's the other part of it.
That was where we should get involved with the power company and say, where'd you come up with this address?
Right.
Cause they're supposed to have a form from us.
Right, instead of hit, we gotta go to where it started.
That's right.
We don't, that's part of what I need from a policy decision that you need to, I don't necessarily have to have a decision today, but we need to think about how we're gonna regulate this. Because, we have to have some kind of way to track this with the power company, so that they don't issue power without having a valid address and without having signed up.
But she should have had a 911 permit from the 911 to the power and the water to get power or electricity or water hooked up.
But you think, it could have been many moons ago when this has happened. So most of the cleanup time is before there would have been anybody saying, hey, look, you don't have this 911 address. Sally Sue just made up her address right when 911 started.
But if she was 219A, that means we need a back charger for the garbage that if she's lived there for 2012.
Well, she had that 219, it was a business, we were charging her up until we gave her the credit, because she proved she closed the business. And I can see that it's possible that since she had the business there, at 219, she just don't set up the meter at 219A to keep it separate from 219. That's my guess. But they shouldn't have done that without a 911 address.
Probably every building's supposed to be addressed, even a barn.
So, it's one of those situations, we have got to find some way to
Sounds
prevent this
like
from
you
happening.
said, yeah, they probably,
And
one box said 219, she said, well, make one of them 219A so I can separate.
possibly. But she had two boxes at 219 to start with. Which was weird. That's why Tracy started asking questions. It's unusual.
Which one?
And they were businesses. She was only paying on one of the businesses. And so it just got more tangled and she got more upset and it started, it was a difficult conversation. And Tracy asked me if I wanted to review videotape and I didn't because I knew Jamie had trouble with her too.
She laid out on me, she's on chemo, she laid out in the chair, she couldn't handle it no more. I sold her a tag.
Is this the same lady that ran that place out there?
It was a weird name. I can't even think what the business name was. It was strange.
Her name is Ruth Howard.
Before we make a policy change, I'd like to recommend that myself, Jamie, and Mr. Rule get together. Let's just have us a meeting and see what is the best way to put this trash stuff to bed. Because,
We need to have a meeting as a whole with everybody on this trash too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we need to try to change and clean up.
because 911, we give addresses that do not need a trash bill.
Right.
We are giving permits on homes that probably should generate a trash bill at some point.
And we got a ton of them out there being sent out where there's actually nothing.
Well, y'all, and I can
We
tell
gotta
y'all
clean it
too,
up
with mobile homes, they'll come in and they'll say, oh, I already got power. Yeah. So,
How's
if
it happen?
you know somebody, really,
And you throw in RV campers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
That's a
know
whole nother
somebody
ball
you
game
get it
that
hooked
works
And
up.
they're popping up
everywhere, and they're tagged in
Especially
other
in my
counties.
side on the west, southwest
I've
corner.
had some.
They're tagged in other counties, so we don't get any tax out of it. And you got deer counts that's falling in this loop. We just need to have a,
That's how they keep getting back on that.
We need to have some big revamp of the way all this works together. You know, because Jamie gets the brunt of it when it comes, and we get the brunt of it when it comes to the garbage deal. And they'll play us off against each other and tell different stories on different ends.
But she can't deny she's been living there and still not paying solid waste.
Well, she was paying on that business.
When did the business shut down?
I don't
I was gonna say, at least since it shut down.
It should be from the date of the termination of that business.
Right, cause she was still living.
That's right. What was it back pay?
I think it was August 29th of 22.
What was the name of
Y'all
her?
credit to
Well,
her back.
the business was owned by Georgia,
So basically,
J-O-R-G-A.
over
Chateau.
years, she paid.
Yeah, it's not, it
that address is that old home, and she had a home there. And then behind the home, there were several other that they kept the
There may be more trailers
residency.
back there. We know about.
So,
Sorry
so
about
it was shut down, I can't remember, right when sheriff come, when my missing person came out there, sheriff. I think that may have been in 17, we had a person go missing from there, and we had to look for him, and then it was in such bad shape, they shut it down that night.
I don't know if it's shut down
I bet you do.
altogether
Yeah,
anyway,
that's-
because
Well,
if you had
you and
stolen there
Jamie
for-
may need to go take a ride to investigate.
There's a white van.
I'm sure you're right.
You seen that white van? They headed for it on Pearl, it's got people on it. Where else could they be going?
That's right. And we're not sure how many.
Probably still going down Bass Road doing something. Maybe they need to go check it
The
out.
health department probably,
That's-
they got in it one time, I think.
That's who got in it, and they, I mean, it was, they said they had never shut one down like that.
Right.
And it was pretty
There's
bad.
still some kind of activity going on out there with people. That van's not going out there every day for nothing.
We can go back and add that to the account. We'll have to open up an account at 219A if that's where she claims she's living. But,
that's what the light bill said, that's what I went on.
so, but we can go back to when the business closed and open that up and charge her for that time period. Then she'll pay maybe
Let's
next year.
just schedule a workshop after the next board meeting on the 15th to go over that.
Because we need to touch a
Y'all
lot.
can get all y'all files together between 9 and 15.
We need to have a work.
That's our Thanksgiving lunch today. We have
Let's
lunch.
do that, rest hour, we can do that right after the lunch, be fine.
I'll be at conference.
Just do it the next, December
We
the,
could have a special,
we have a special meeting. You go about 15, well, we'll just do it the first meeting of December.
We go to first December, you gonna be,
Everybody
you
will
gonna
get
be
in,
in convention then?
I'm through.
let's just schedule a workshop after the meeting on December. It'll be December the
Yeah, we need,
4th.
yeah, we need to get
December the 4th.
Tracy involved in that.
Because the new board members at that point will need to be involved in this policy discussion.
We got to do something, this is a way.
But we gotta do something.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you. The next item, number 19, is the approved applicable travel, meals, lodging, registration, mileage expense for supervisor and staff. The San Mississippi Association of Supervisors 2024 Midwinter Legislative and Educational Conference, January 23rd through the 25th, 2024, at the Refuge Hotel in Flowood.
Post.
Motion by Danny. Second by Mitchell, any discussion? All in favor, any opposed?
I'd like to approve the claims and immediate checks for Buddy Wolverton, $2,800 for the ERBR 6403.
Motion.
Motion by Danny,
Second.
second by Brian, any discussion? All in favor, any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and also the same thing for the contractor, $29,448. We'll include that in the same motion.
Yes.
Next item, we have a long list of things to acknowledge and record in the board minutes, so I'll just read through these real quick. Monthly quotations for asphalt and gravel for November, and to authorize the use of the second and third quotes as necessary, when the first one's not available. Delo Water Park daily recap report for September. Mississippi Association of Supervisors County Employees Scholarship applications. There are two scholarships available for two different eligible Simpson County employees, students. So any of our employees that are students going to college can apply for the scholarship. Notice of Mississippi Association of Supervisors Inmate Medical and Prescription Cost Containment Program has changed from Gulf Guarantee to Association Program Administrators, LLC. We have a notice from Office of State Aid Road Construction, approved change order number 2 for case 6464. We have, I had that same change report order on April Taylor Bryant, so we'll skip that one. And Simpson County FY22 annual disclosure submission is prepared by Butler Snow. We have a list from Chris Hennis, District Attorney, for supplemental salaries and new positions as allowed by law. This listing just has to be put on the board minutes every year by the DA's office. And a notice of claim filed from Mary Mitchell for her injuries suffered in the automobile collision with the Simpson County Sheriff's vehicle involved in the car chase on September 2nd. So all those items to be included on the minutes.
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Danny, second by Brian, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Any questions on any of those? Okay. Reminders, future board meeting, Wednesday, November 15th, that's our Thanksgiving luncheon here in the boardroom after the meeting. Monday, December 4th, Friday, December 15th, Tuesday, January 2nd, is the first meeting in the new term. Events upcoming, Election Day tomorrow. The Mississippi Association of Supervisors new term supervisors orientation will be December 6th and 7th of 23. Thursday, December 28th is a retirement party honoring Judge Ted Blakeney at 6 p.m. at Barry's Seafood in McGee. And the MAS Midwinter Legislative Conference, January 23rd and 25th, 24th. Upcoming holidays, this Friday, November 10th, is Veterans Day. Also, we have Thanksgiving holiday, which I am assuming will be Thursday and Friday, November 23rd and 24th. The governor has not put out his proclamation yet. Maybe wait until after the election. After the end of the meeting, I need to have an executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel issues in multiple county offices. At least two.
The other thing I got, Pat mentioned to you, the district board on October 25th, passed a resolution declaring a surplus the properties at the McGee Industrial Park, which is down behind Pope's. It wraps around behind Pope's, down by the creek, comes up, follows along Airport Road, Goodwater Road, all over in front of Goodwater Church. All that's pretty well wetlands, flood zones. They've declared it surplus as just a preliminary step to go forward if they choose to try to advertise and sell it. In the past, what we've done is ask you as a board to concur in that finding that the property is not suitable for economic industrial development. It's no longer needed for county purposes, and it's in the best interest of the county to declare it surplus. Then allow the district board to take the next step as they see fit to promote the sale, advertise, whatever they want to do. I think they've got some guy interested in some of it, but they're going to have to get it surveyed to know what parcel it's going to be, and then you get it appraised and know then what the bid ought to come in at least. So, but this is just to concur in that, it's one of those findings of the district board.
Motion by Brian, second by Randy, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have. I also have a executive session item. We need to discuss the status of the Mississippi Hub conversations we had. So we'll bring that up in the executive session.
Okay. Any Anybody have anything else? Yeah, we have a motion by Danny for the need of executive session. Second by Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Oh, no, it's really what's happening, brother. I know I gotta go let some coffee out. I hope that camera ain't still on. Ain't no camera.
Find out so you have all this together, move.
Are you gonna come down to trustee hall after executive session?
You pole sitting tomorrow? You pole sitting tomorrow? I don't think we don't. I may have a couple, but I ain't got all that much is usually hits me going.
Y'all got something on?
Yeah, I got a couple, got a good couple of them.
Dirty on the hard lot, man. And then, they make peas. They make peas on.
About money going later, mine about later.
What people do, I think, as long as you get one of them, so you be seen, you know what I'm saying? I think, you know, I ain't never went to the poll and seen somebody sitting there holding the sign up, and it changed my mind, you know what I'm saying? But who knows?
Oh, I know you would.
All right.
Doing good.
Wayne, how you doing? He didn't hear me, did he?
Who's that?
I spoke to Mr. Wayne, all right, how you doing?
I'm trying to catch up with you.
I don't know, I need to be doing.
Lord mercy, takes me forever.
Wow, I'll see what the bottom, what our.
Don State. And he's originally from, he's a veterinarian. Doing at least 8 years service.
Hey, there's somebody being stupid on Snapchat said they gonna shoot this girl, so they went into hard lockdown.
What now?
Somebody just threatening on Snapchat, anonymous.
They don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Myself, I get to do it.